Hey everyone, so recently we had something really unexpected happen to us, and that is we got a new pet raccoon. Before we get started, I just want to say if you would like to see more content about this little raccoon, be sure to follow us on Facebook. We're going to be doing regular vlogs on there. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to follow along. So we don't have a name for her quite yet. Been throwing around a couple of ideas. I personally like the name Piper. Sarah likes Gnocchi and Lemon. However, we're kind of toying with the idea of something that kind of ties into the channel a little bit better. So we have Cheeto, and then we're thinking Cheddar. So they're kind of similar in that regard. So we might end up doing something like that. However, if you have a suggestion, leave it in the comment below. Also vote on which name you like best. And if we choose one of y'all's names, we will send you a t-shirt. So the way we got Piper is about a month ago, someone messaged us on Instagram saying that they had a raccoon nest blow out during a storm that was in the area. They said the babies were just all over the ground, and so what they did was pick the babies up and put them back in the tree where they were blown out of. The following week after that, they had another storm that came through and blew out the raccoons again, except this time only one of the raccoons was found. They left the baby there for a day, but the mom still never returned to get her, so they brought them inside. They messaged me saying, hey, we found a baby raccoon. How can we make it a pet? Like I tell most people, you don't really want to make them a pet unless you absolutely have to. It's always best to rehab them if you can. They were pretty set on making it a pet, despite what I said. I kind of gave them like the rundown of like how much time and money they really cost. But you know, some people listen, others don't. And they decided they still wanted to keep them as a pet. So they got her at such a young age that his eyes hadn't even opened yet. And so when you see a cute baby raccoon like that, it's hard to want to give them up. And I totally understand, but you also have to think of what's best for the pet itself. About like a week ago at this point, they contacted us again and said, hey, yeah, I think you're right. We don't really have enough time to take care of it like it should. And so we want to know if you would take it in. So one of the stipulations of us taking it in is that we couldn't rehab it. Otherwise, they just weren't going to surrender the raccoon to us. But I think it works out well because we were hoping Cheeto would be a friend for Tito. And so now that Tito's not here, we needed a friend for Cheeto, someone of his own kind. And so that was the main reason we took it in, as well as, you know, helping someone else who got into more than they could handle. That's how we ended up with them. She's about 10 weeks old now, and we've been acclimating her a different way than we did Tito and Cheeto. Since we own the house that we're in now, we're trying to raise them up like you would raise a cat in regards of letting them roam the entire house, not having a separate cage for them, and just training them from a young age what they can and can't do. And so I think this will be more beneficial in the long run. So we're super excited. If we need to, we'll still probably build an extra enclosure for them. And you just, you know, when we can't keep our eye on her all the time. So she's been to the vet a few times. However, she doesn't have all of her rounds of shots yet just because she's so little. So she and Cheeto haven't actually met yet for a couple of reasons. One, she's been too little to get all of her shots. She's also really small compared to Cheeto, and we want to wait until she's a little bit bigger so she doesn't get squished by Cheeto, because Cheeto is friends with everybody and, you know, plays a little bit more rough than most animals. And so with that being said, probably in another couple of weeks or we'll probably do an introductory video. But until then, you know, we're making sure she's well behaved just through her training. That way when she does meet another raccoon, she isn't too scared and is able to kind of handle the situation. So she and Cheeto are going to be permanent residents with us. However, we get so many calls each year saying that there's an abandoned raccoon that we are actually toying with the idea of starting our own rehab center. But in order to do so, it's a really expensive project, and it's going to take some time to get started. Main reason is you have to have your own land to release these animals because they're considered rabies vector species, and it's illegal to put them on somebody else's land. To get enough land to do that is pretty expensive. So we were wondering if we started a GoFundMe, if any of y'all would be interested in supporting. So if you are, please leave a comment down below if that's something you'd be able to get behind. However, if you don't want to support, that's more than fine. We're still going to bring you the same content that we always do. We want to give these babies a fighting chance because most of them lose their mothers through car accidents or storms or, you know, predators and things like that. Don't really have a chance at life at such a young age. And I know you guys would love to see some baby raccoons make it back into the wild. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for more videos of this cute little girl and, of course, Cheeto. Now here, enjoy some clips of her first week with us.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, she'll eat it up. If she likes it, she'll eat it up. She has a sweet tooth for sure, though, because we tried to give her like some really good savory foods, and she's not into it. She really like. Oh, Chucky, she's gonna get you. Whoa. I was on a sea kayaking trip, and they had like. It was crazy. It was really scary. That was like the only.
What's that? We had already had Cheeto. Did we already have Cheeto? But I was kind of scared of the wild raccoons.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I mean,
when you know what they're capable of, that
Yeah.
definitely can be kind of intimidating. I mean, they could track.
oh.